there's a spiritual overtone in what we read here. All right? This actually can be applied to us to this very day. Again, the things written aforetime was written for our learning. That we through the comfort of the scriptures might have hope. So what we're doing here is looking at the generations of old. Again, it says he sent a man before them, even Joseph, who was sold for a servant. Now, Joseph symbolizes the elect, all right, the elect of the nation of Israel, which when you go into Joseph, all right, that word Joseph, in certain contexts when reading the scriptures, it actually is interchangeable with Israel. Matter of fact, let's prove that real quick before we continue. This is the book of Amos, the 5th chapter, in the 15th verse. It says, hate the evil and love the good, and establish judgment in the gate. It may be that the Lord power of hosts will be gracious unto the remnant of Joseph. See? It may be that the Lord power of hosts will be gracious unto the remnant of Joseph. See? Which translates to the remnant of Israel. So you see what Joseph is actually interchangeable with Israel. See that? In certain contexts, right? So when you go back here again to the book of Psalms, chapter 105, starting at verse 17, it says he sent a man before them, even Joseph, who was sold for a servant. And that actually applies to us to this very day. We was physically sold as well, man. We was brought over here as cargo, you know? Now, this spills over to in the mind as well. We was not only servants, you know, physically, but we was also slaves in the mind. We was captive, you know, to whatever doctrine and ideas and philosophies we was exposed to before coming into this truth. See? That's why when you read the book of St. John, the 8th chapter, in the 32nd verse, it tells you how you should know the truth and the truth shall make you free. Matter of fact, let's grab that real quick before we continue. This is the book of St. John, the 8th chapter, in the 32nd verse. It says, and ye shall know the truth, see, and the truth shall make you free. See that? So again, when you go back here to Psalms, chapter 105, and again, starting at verse 17, he sent a man before them, even Joseph, right? Which again, Joseph symbolizes the elect of the nation of Israel, the Israel of the Most High, the remnant, all right? He sent a man before them, even Joseph, who was sold for a servant, see? Whose feet they hurt with fetters, he was laid in iron. So we was captives as well, you know? Not just physically, but in the mind, right? But what freed us? Let's read on, verse 19. Until the time that his word came, see? Until the time that his word came, the word of the Lord tried him. And this is what this word, you know, is set up to do as well. This word is a refiner. This is how we're being tried, you know? And if you cleave to this word, then pretty much you're going to be purified again. St. John the 15th chapter in the 3rd verse. You are now cleansed through this word. See, again it says, until the time that his word came, see, the word of the Lord tried him. And that applies to us. We was captives, man, you know, until the time that the Lord saw fit to introduce us to this word, which each and every one of you believers out there, you know, you have your own story. You know, how you came into this truth, how you was exposed to this truth. Well, guess what? That was the time that the Lord saw fit to send forth his word, which was what? The Lord actually extending a peace offering. That was the Lord showing mercy. See, again, it says, until the time that his word came, see, the word of the Lord tried him, the king sent and loosed him. The king sent and loosed him. And this will apply to the elect. You know, we have been loosed from the chains of these different doctrines, which is going to actually morph into us being loose from these bodies, these chains of death, and ultimately being loose from this prison, which is America, man. And it's going to be sanctioned by the king, Yahushua. Again, it says the king sent and loosed him, even the ruler of the people, and let him go free. He made him Lord of his house and ruler of all his substance. And that's why it tells you how the elect will be joint heirs with Yahushua. So what we read here is a story, you know, an act, you know, reading something that was written aforetime, which actually applies to us today. Okay? So what's the point here? Joseph, he was laid in iron. He was sold for a servant until the time that his word came. Meaning the Lord sent forth his word as an act of mercy. Matter of fact, it's the book of Psalms chapter 107. And starting at verse 17, it says, fools, because of their transgression and because of their iniquities, are afflicted. And this applies to each and every one of us individuals, really amongst the nation of Israel as a whole. The reason why we was afflicted because of our transgressions and because of our iniquities, man. This is what separated us from our power. And this is what made us fools. In order for you to qualify for wisdom, you must first become a fool. Matter of fact, you know what? Let's prove that real quick before we continue. That's in the book of 1 Corinthians, the 3rd chapter. In the 18th verse, it says, let no man deceive himself. If any man among you seemeth to be wise in this world, let him become a fool. See, let him become a fool that he may be wise. See that? So that's the chronological order. All right, we was abased. We was brought low, and what cemented that abasement was the fact that we became fools. See that? There was a point where we didn't know our identity. We didn't know our nationality, man. So that's why this doctrine is so important, because it develops wisdom. And this is the only way you can stand in the sight of Yahweh Bashim and Hawashah. And that's pursuant to the book of Ecclesiastes, the 5th chapter, where the scriptures say the Lord have no pleasure in fools. Also, when you read the book of Hosea, the 4th chapter and the 6th verse, my people are destroyed because of a lack of knowledge, man. See? So when you go back here again to the book of Psalms, chapter 107, and again starting at verse 17, fools, because of their transgressions and because of their iniquities, are afflicted. So this is why we was afflicted, Verse 18, their soul abhorreth all manner of meat, and they draw near unto the gates of death. Then they cry unto the Lord in their trouble. He saveth them out of their distresses. He sent his word, see? He sent his word and healed them. He sent his word and healed them and delivered them from their destructions. Let's read this again. It says he sent his word, see? He sent his word and healed them and delivered them from their destructions. And this is pretty much the chronological order what we read here. All right, and the first step, if you will, on his road to recovery is to receive his word. This is the first step the Lord, chose, to heal us. Before you could be healed, you must first have his word. See, again, it says he sent his word and healed them. See that? And delivered them from their destructions. You see that? So this right here, again, once again, proves that having this truth is the ultimate act of mercy, man. Our Lord Yahweh Bashim and Hawashah, he heard our cries, our groanings. He had compassion on us. Then eventually he sent forth this word. See? And this word being sent forth, which is the bridge to your salvation, is actually the ultimate act of mercy. So yeah, I just want to touch on that, Lord willing. It was edifying. Till the next time I say, Shalom.